The Clever Mouse Deer and Ant Fairy Tale. In a lush forest lived a mouse deer known to be very clever and cunning. His name was Mouse Deer, and he always found ways to overcome problems. Ada. One day, when the mouse deer was walking along the riverbank, he met a group of ants who were working hard to gather food in preparation for the rainy season. "Hey, ants, why are you so busy?" asked the mouse deer with curiosity. "We are collecting food, mouse deer. The rainy season is coming, and we must be prepared," replied the leading ant, whose name was Sari. The mouse deer smiled slyly. "Ah, wasting time. Come and have fun with me. We can play and forget about food for a while." Sari pondered for a moment. "Oh, mouse dear, we know the rainy season can be very difficult. Come, I must eat in order to survive. But look, if we play, we can be happier. Happiness is also important, right?" the deer urged. Sari shook her head. "We are more H is now working hard and enjoying the results later. However, if you want to play, we can't stop you. Be careful, Cancel." Cancel then laughed and continued his adventure. I ran to the forest, jumped over tree roots, and turned among the bushes. However, after a while, the mouse deer began to feel hungry. Then he remembered Sari and his ant friends. Back, K. A tempat semut bekerja. Cancel melihat Sari dan yang lainnya masih giat bekerja. As the place where the ants work, Cancel saw Sari and the others still working hard. Sebagai tanda rasa ingin tahunya, ia bertanya, "Sari, apakah kamu akan membagikan sedikit makananmu?" As a sign of his curiosity, he asked, "Sari, will you share a little of your food?" Semut semut itu. The ants staring at the mouse deer in confusion. "Mouse deer, we can't share it. We've already worked hard to collect it. However, if you want to help us, we can give you a little food afterwards." Cancel felt awkward. "Oh, okay. It seems I don't want to work now. But if you want, I can tell you tricks to speed up your work." Sari nodded, thought that although the rabbit was unwilling to help directly, his knowledge could be useful. "All right, Rabbit, we are happy to hear the tricks." The rabbit then gave some clever ways to gather food faster. Not long after, the ants managed to gather more food with the tricks taught by the Cancel. When they were finished, they celebrated their hard work by treating the mouse deer. "Thank you, mouse deer. Now we can enjoy the results of our hard work and share a little food with you," said Sari, while offering a seed delicious okelat. The mouse deer was very happy. He realized that hard work and friendship are more valuable than revelry. From then on, the mouse deer became a good friend of the ants, often mengun, fight them, and help them in a clever way. The story of the clever mouse deer and monkey. In a lush and magical forest lived the clever mouse deer and the mischievous monkey. The mouse deer was known for his intelligence, while the monkey was famous for his his agility. One day, while searching for food, Cancel and Monkey met at the edge of a clear lake. Both were hungry and tried to find a way to get food. Anan. "Cancel, let's catch fish in this lake," invited the monkey enthusiastically. "But how can we catch fish without tools?" asked Cancel, thinking hard. Quickly, the monkey jumped up the tree, observing and searching for ideas. "I have a plan," he said. "We can tempt the fish with fruits." Cancel nodded in agreement. "Let's take some fruit from this tree." Mi Rika also worked together, climbing the tree and collecting fresh fruits. They chose fragrant mangoes and bananas. After being satisfied collecting fruits, Cancel and Monkey returned to the lakeside. Eka threw fruits into the water, hoping the fish would come closer, but what appeared instead was a group of frogs that jumped and gathered happily, enjoying the fruits. "Hey, this is not what we want!" exclaimed the monkey angrily. Cancel thought for a moment, then said, "How about we play a trick on the frog? We can make them think that we are Arja from this forest." The monkey smiled broadly. "Brilliant! What is your plan, Cancel?" Cancel then planned his action. He jumped over the large rocks around the lake, shouting, "Hey, frogs, we are this forest ruler. Whoever wants to meet us must give us delicious food." The surprised frogs immediately obeyed the order. They began to search for insects and green plants for "Give it to Cancel and Monkey." Soon after, their food piled up in front of Cancel and Monkey. Seeing the abundant food, Monkey laughed happily. "We succeeded, Cancel. We only mempe. Wow, these frogs are delicious." Cancel smiled while shaking his head. "Remember, Monkey, we must use our cleverness wisely. We can share this food with all the creatures in the forest." The monkeys hesitated a little, but finally agreed. They then distributed the food to the frogs and other animals living around the lake. Everyone rejoiced, and the mouse deer and the monkeys became famous as a kind duo in the forest. Since that day, Cancel and Monkey became true friends and continued to help each other in new adventures. They learned that intelligence but cooperation can bring happiness, not only for themselves, but also for all creatures in the forest. And so is the story of Cancel and Monkey, where friendship, goodness, and core creativity merges in the magic of the forest. No day without new adventures for the two of them. There is always something interesting waiting to be explored. In a dense and beautiful forest lived a clever deer. This deer was famous for its intelligence in overcoming various problems. One day, while the deer was walking, in a heard cheerful sounds from the nearby pond. When he approached, he saw a group of frogs jumping and playing in the water. "Good morning, frog friends. Why do you seem so cheerful?" asked Cancel in a friendly tone. "We are celebrating a Merriga feast," answered Green Frog, the leader of the frog troop. "We will hold a jumping competition today, and the winner will get a crown from the most beautiful leaves in this forest." Interested in the idea, Cancel thought, "Why not? This could be an interesting excitement." And he asked to be allowed as well, to participate in the competition. "Ah, Cancel, you are too fast and clever. We won't be able to keep up with you," said Red Frog hesitantly. "Don't worry, I just want to have fun. We will race fairly," the mouse deer convinced them. When the race began, all the frogs jumped with all their might. However, the mouse deer, who possessed extraordinary speed, jumped faster from all the frogs. Seeing this, Green Frog got a brilliant idea. He shouted, "Let's use a trick. We will jump in sequence and make a sound together to make a similar sound." Men hearing that, Cancel laughed heartily. "You must be geniuses," Cancel said. With enthusiasm, the frogs began to jump in sequence, making funny sound waves and a dancing rhythm. Especially the yellow frog, which jumped high and made a "cook-cook" sound that invited laughter from all the other animals watching. When the race became more exciting, Cancel realized that although he, If he could win the race, there was something more valuable: friendship and fun. He started running slower, giving the frogs a chance to move forward. Frog's K is enthusiastic and jumps with renewed spirit. In that competition, finally, the green frog succeeded in reaching the first finish line. "Congratulations to the green frog!" shouted the mouse deer, clapping its hands. Green Tack, with the most beautiful leaf crown, felt very happy. "Thank you, Cancel. Without you, today wouldn't be this special." Cancel pretended to frown. But I only want to be happy. The important thing is not who wins, but our togetherness." Since that day, Cancel and the frogs became best friends. They often played and celebrated their friendship with funny race in the pool. Cancel always remembers that winning is not everything, but creating memories and happiness with friends is more important. And in that quiet forest, all animals celebrated togetherness, laughed together, and lived happily ever after. In a lush forest filled with colorful flowers lived a clever deer and a slow but wise snail. Every day, the deer always showed off its actions clever and became an idol for other animals. However, there was one animal that was never influenced by Cancel's popularity, namely the snail. One bright morning, Cancel woke up with enthusiasm tinging. He asked all the animals in the forest to gather, because he had an exciting plan. "We will hold a race. Whoever can reach the riverbank first is the winner," Kaa the deer announced excitedly. Hearing that, the snail, who heard from afar, felt doubtful. "I am very slow. How could I possibly win against the fast deer?" thought the snail. Amun, the firmness of his heart and his wisdom, solidified his intention to participate in the race. The day of the race arrived. All the animals gathered cheerfully, anticipating the actions of Cancel and Siput. "Did N become a champion?" exclaimed Duck, while flapping its wings. "Prepare yourselves. 1, 2, 3, shouted the peacock, who served as the judge. The mouse deer darted away quickly. The snail began to crawl slowly. The other animals cheered, and all eyes were on the rabbit, who proudly sped far ahead. After some time passed, the rabbit felt very akin. He had left Snail far behind. "I'm sure to win. Why not relax a little?" thought Rabbit, then stopped under a big tree and fell fast asleep. On the other side, Snail. The snail stepped patiently. It was not in a hurry and remained focused on its goal. With each step, the snail sang a sweet song about friendship and courage. With continuous spirit awake, he continued his journey. When Cancel woke up, suddenly he was surprised. "Oh no, I have slept too long." Panicked, Cancel ran as fast as possible towards the river. However, not unexpectedly, Snail had arrived at the riverbank first. All the animals cheered loudly, seeing the patient Snail. Cancel felt ashamed, but he also admired Snail. "You are brave and persistent, Snail. Although you are slow, you have taught me that patience is the key to success," said Cancel sincerely. The snail smiled. "Thank you, Cancel. Every creature has a P. You see each other. Maybe in the future we can practice together." From that day on, Cancel and Siput became inseparable friends. They explored the forest together, complementing each other. Elaine. Cancel taught Siput how to explore the world more bravely, while Siput taught Cancel the importance of patience and perseverance. The forest was once again filled with laughter and joy, And the animal emus learned that speed is not everything, and that love, friendship, and a little wisdom can yield far more valuable results. The Cancel and Crocodile Story. Adventure in the Magical River. In the middle of a dense and lush forest, there lived a very clever mouse deer. His name was Cancel. He was known throughout the forest as an animal clever and always able to get out of difficult situations. One day, while Cancel was walking along the sparkling riverbank, he heard a very beautiful gurgling sound. "Who is it that is sing, what is that?" thought Cancel curiously. He followed the sound and found a group of fish dancing in the water. Unbeknownst to him, under the water was a crocodile, a large creature known for its ferocity and, alas, the crocodile always watched Cancel, hoping to catch him for lunch. "Wow, they are very cute," said Cancel, while jumping and dancing on the riverbank. The fish also. "Come shout, come on, Cancel, join us!" Cancel began to dance. However, when he saw a large shadow in the water, he realized that the crocodile was watching. "If I am not careful, Buaya could catch me," thought Cancel casually. Quickly, Cancel planned his clever move. He pretended to fall into the water and began to swim. "Help! Help! There's a crocodile!" he shouted. The mouse deer cried out in fear. The fish and other animals who heard the sound immediately came crowding together. The crocodile, who saw all the commotion, thought, "This is the time to catch the mouse deer." He then jumped from the water and tried to catch the mouse deer. However, the mouse deer was prepared. When the crocodile jumped, the mouse deer spun and slipped between the fishes. "Hey, crocodile, why don't you join Miss Yanari?" Cancel called out cheerfully. "These fish are so fun. Come on, let's arrange a feast." The crocodile, surprised and confused, felt provoked to participate. "Feast? What is that?" he asked. With curiosity, "Come on, follow our movements. We will have the biggest party in the forest," said the mouse deer. With clumsy steps, the crocodile tried to join the dance. However, because of its body, big, it actually messed up all the movements. The fishes laughed heartily, seeing the crocodile's effort. Seeing that, Cancel hoped the crocodile would be lazy to chase him after being tired of dancing. And then, oh my! After some time trying to dance and watching all the animals having fun, the crocodile started to get tired and stopped. "I think I'd rather sleep than dance," said the crocodile while yawning wide. Staggering, he retreated into the water and fell soundly asleep. The mouse deer and all the animals by the river cheered, celebrating their success. "Thank you, mouse deer. You are clever gat," said the fishes. Cancel only smiled. There is always a way to enjoy life, even in the midst of danger. Since that day, Cancel became a hero in the forest. He and his animal friends, Inya, always remembers to have fun and take time to celebrate friendship, even in the face of threats. In a dense forest teeming with life lived a deer famous for its intelligence. The deer had shiny brown fur and bright eyes, always ready to played and adventured. One day, while wandering in the forest, he met a large and frightening tiger. The tiger, known as the king of the forest, felt hungry and had been sleeping for a long time. Ak got food. When seeing Cancel, he thought, "Ah, this is delicious food." Cancel, who felt threatened, tried to think of a way to save himself. Quickly, get a clever idea, he said to the tiger. "Oh, tiger, do not eat me. I am a very valuable animal. If you eat me, you will lose the opportunity to get says a bigger one." The curious tiger asked, "What do you mean, mouse dear?" The mouse deer answered confidently, "If you release me, I will bring you to a magical lake. His life has many delicious animals. You only need to follow me." The tiger was fascinated by Cancel's words. "All right, Cancel, go and show me the lake." Quickly, Cancel jumped, tree, and ran in different directions, while the tiger followed behind him. They passed tall trees and dense bushes. Along the way, Cancel kept talking. "The lake has clear water and big fish. You will enjoy it very much." After a while, Cancel brought the tiger to the edge of a deep ravine. The big tiger, very excited, "Ratanya, where is that magical lake?" Cancel pointed downwards. "Down there are many fish. You only need to jump to catch them." Without thinking long, Haramau jumped the tiger, hoping to get fish. However, it found that the ravine was very deep and there were no fish there. The tiger was trapped and could not return to the top. The mouse deer saw that, and although feeling a little pity, he couldn't hide his cunning smile. "Let this be a lesson for you, tiger. Not all that glitters is gold. I will not become my meal." And with that, Cancel leaped high and ran away, leaving the tiger in the ravine. For days, the tiger had to think about his stupidity and how it has been captivated by the clever mouse deer. The mouse deer returned to the forest with pride. It knew that there was always a way to overcome problems, only with a little cleverness and courage. Since that day, all the animals in the forest admired Cancel as their hero. The forest returned to calm, and Cancel continued his life, always ready for new adventures, and always remembering to use common sense in facing challenges.